the law of inner peace. In a world that constantly demands your attention, inner peace has become one of the rarest and most valuable treasures a person can possess. Most people spend their lives searching for peace in the wrong places. They believe peace will arrive when they earn more money, find the perfect relationship, achieve success, solve every problem, or finally gain approval from others. Yet even when these things arrive, the peace they provide is often temporary. The mind quickly creates a new desire, a new worry, or a new problem to solve. True peace does not come from controlling the world around you. It comes from mastering the world within you. The great spiritual teachers throughout history understood this principle. They recognized that external circumstances are constantly changing. Seasons change, relationships change, health changes, finances change. Life itself is a process of continuous movement. If your peace depends entirely on circumstances remaining exactly as you want them, peace will always remain fragile. Inner peace begins when you stop demanding that life conform perfectly to your expectations. This does not mean becoming passive or giving up on your goals. It means understanding that your emotional well-being cannot depend entirely on factors outside your control. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words remain just as powerful today as they were nearly 2,000 years ago. Most suffering arises not from events themselves, but from our resistance to them. We argue with reality. We wish things had happened differently. We replay painful moments. We worry about uncertain futures. And in doing so, we create endless mental turbulence. Peace begins where resistance ends. Eckhart Tolle teaches that much of human suffering comes from living psychologically in the past or future. The mind constantly replays old memories or anticipates future problems. Rarely does it remain fully present. Yet the present moment is the only place where peace can ever truly exist. Think about it. Right now, in this exact moment, are you safe? Are you breathing? Are you alive? Often, when we stop and return to the present moment, we realize that many of our worries exist only in the imagination. The mind is incredibly powerful, but it is also capable of creating enormous suffering. It imagines worst-case scenarios. It revisits old wounds. It creates stories about what might happen. And over time, these stories become so familiar that people mistake them for reality. Carl Jung understood that unconscious fears often shape behavior more than external circumstances. People are not always responding to reality itself. They are responding to the meaning they have attached to reality. One person sees challenge and finds opportunity. Another sees challenge and experiences fear. The situation may be identical, yet the internal experience is completely different. This is why self-awareness remains essential. Without awareness, the mind becomes your master. With awareness, the mind becomes your servant. Inner peace does not mean eliminating every negative thought. It means developing a relationship with your thoughts that is rooted in observation rather than identification. Thoughts come and go like clouds moving across the sky. Some are helpful, some are not, but you do not have to believe every thought that appears. Meditation teaches this beautifully. When you sit quietly and observe the mind, you begin noticing how random many thoughts actually are. One moment the mind worries, the next it remembers something from years ago. Then it imagines a future conversation. Then it creates a problem that does not even exist. Awareness allows you to watch these mental movements without becoming trapped inside them. Neville Goddard taught that consciousness shapes reality. If this is true, then cultivating inner peace becomes one of the most powerful things you can do. A peaceful state of consciousness influences perception, decision-making, relationships, health, and overall well-being. Peace creates clarity. Clarity creates wise action. Fear clouds judgment. Peace reveals truth. This is why many of life's most important answers arrive not when we are forcing solutions, but when we are relaxed and present. Have you ever struggled with a problem for hours, only to discover the answer while walking, showering, or resting. The moment the mind stops fighting, clarity appears. Joseph Murphy believed that the subconscious mind responds deeply to emotional states. A mind constantly filled with fear, stress, and anxiety reinforces those patterns. But a mind regularly exposed to gratitude, calmness, trust, and peace begins creating entirely different experiences. The state you cultivate internally eventually shapes the life you experience externally. Inner peace also requires acceptance. Acceptance is often misunderstood. Many people think acceptance means weakness. It does not. Acceptance means seeing reality clearly without unnecessary resistance. It means acknowledging what is, not because you approve of everything, not because you enjoy every challenge, but because fighting reality only creates additional suffering. The moment you accept the present moment, you gain the ability to respond to it intelligently. When you resist it, you lose energy battling what already exists. Alan Watts often compared life to water flowing down a river. Water does not waste energy fighting every obstacle. It moves around rocks. It adapts. It flows. It remains flexible. Human beings often suffer because they become rigid. They demand certainty from an uncertain world. They demand permanence from an impermanent life. Yet peace emerges when we learn to flow with life rather than constantly oppose it. Dolores Cannon often spoke about trust. Trust in the journey. Trust in growth. Trust that life is unfolding in ways we may not always understand. While we cannot always see the larger picture, we can learn to trust that every experience contains the potential for learning and expansion. This trust becomes a source of profound peace. The need to control everything slowly begins to dissolve. The need to know every answer begins to soften. The need to force outcomes begins to fade. And in its place emerges something beautiful: a quiet confidence, a calm presence, a deeper connection to life itself. Peace is not something you achieve once and keep forever. It is a practice, a daily choice, a way of relating to yourself and the world. Each time you choose gratitude instead of complaint, peace grows. Each time you choose presence instead of worry, peace grows. Each time you choose forgiveness instead of resentment, peace grows. Each time you choose awareness instead of reaction, peace grows. Over time, these choices create an inner foundation that remains stable even when life becomes difficult. The storms may still come. Challenges may still arise. Uncertainty may still appear. But you are no longer thrown off balance by every wave. You become anchored within yourself. And perhaps that is the true meaning of inner peace. Not the absence of challenges, but the presence of stability amidst them, a calm center that remains untouched by the chaos of the world. A quiet strength that exists beneath fear. A deep knowing that regardless of what happens externally, you possess the ability to return home to yourself. Because peace has never been something you needed to find. It has always been something you needed to remember, and that remembrance lives within your inner kingdom.